Hello everyone, it's SpursRail96 here, and welcome to another Train Sim World 4 roadmap video. Today, Dovetail Games have put out the November update for the Train Sim World 4 roadmap, so let's get into the details. First and foremost, let's get this bit of news out of the way. A lot of people will know it's coming already. The next piece of content coming to Train Sim World 4 is Just Trains' first ever route for the game, and that is the 1980s themed BR Blue Blackpool branches, which is set in the northwest of England. It will be coming out on November the 14th for all platforms, which is in just 1 week's time. It will be at full price, £29.99 and $39.99, I think. For Steam users, you can wish list the current route right now. And certainly it looks good, and the details of it I've read, and what's coming with the route and what you can do. It looks pretty darn good. Let's hope when we actually get it and play it, it will be just as good, if not better. Let's turn our attention to some brand new content that was released or announced, revealed today, I should say. And that is a route by River Games. The new route is the Bernina line, which is in Switzerland and a tiny, tiny little bit in Italy as well. This has been made for Train Simulator in the past, but what's different about the Train Sim World route is that it starts in a different location. Now, the version of the Bernina line we're getting goes from Ospizio Bernina to Tirano. It's just over, I think, 40-ish kilometers, which I think is just under 25 miles. So it's not a long route, that's for sure. It's not even the entire Bernina line itself. It's just a section of it. So if you're looking for a long, busy timetable experience or a long route experience, this is certainly not for you. This is more like to sit back, enjoy the scenery, and just, enjoy the wonderful Alps that has been created by Rivet Games. They've certainly gone to lengths to make this mountainous terrain better than the Arosa line was. I mean, it can't get worse than the Arosa line, can it? Now, from what Dovetails say, this route, the Bernina line, is set within some of the highest peaks of Switzerland, and the Ratichobahn rail network connects obviously vast expanses of remote and popular towns, villages and resorts within the country's canton of Graubünden, often bordered and overshadowed by the all-aspiring World Heritage status Swiss Alps. Now, starting at the top of the Bernina Pass at an altitude of 7,392 feet, the route starts at Ospina Bernina, which is sat upon the bank of Lago Bianco. This alone ranks the Bernina line among some of the highest railways in Europe, being the highest rail crossing passing place in Europe, and has also become one of the world's steepest railways. We can expect gradients as steep as 7%, which is quite impressive for a standard adhesion railway, and obviously it's going to be quite challenging to drive with these incredibly steep gradients, whichever direction you are operating from. The Bernina line from Rivet Games will make the hairpin descent along the faces of the mountains and settle into the winding alpine valleys, before making an arrival into the line's southern terminus of Tirano. This will mark Italy's first, albeit subtle, appearance in Train Sim World. Hopefully we can get a route that's set within the borders of Italy from start to finish. What River Games has done this time to make the route scenery look much, much better than the Arosa line is that they have used LiDAR data and custom landscape materials to produce possibly the most accurate, no doubt, rendition of the Swiss Alps I've ever seen in the train simulation game. In this picture here, there are some peaks setting the scene in the background, and the star of the show is the unmistakable Brusio Spiral Viaduct, with its unique 360-degree loop of track, allowing for dramatic change in railway altitude, while not making any further progress towards the Italian border. Now, the traction for this route, which you can see in this picture here, is Ratischobahn's versatile ABE 812 electric multiple unit, or also known as the Allegra. This is something I've wanted to see in Train Sim World. I think I made a suggestion video of it years ago when the Arosa line was not too far around the corner from release, and I wanted to see V812 in the Arosa line. So now it's coming to Train Sim World 4. We can use it on the Arosa line as well, which is pretty cool. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Allegra, as it's known as, is 3 cars in length and is capable of hauling both passenger and freight stock. It features full dual voltage capabilities with the 1000 volt DC operation of the Bernina line and the 11 kilovolt AC on the Arosa line, all selectable to take the train on either route. River Games has also included, once again, some announcements, which they first pioneered, let's say, on the Edinburgh to Glasgow Class 385. The difference with this announcement system is it will now have the ability of being fully automated and making announcements in 3 different languages, which I think is English, is it German and Italian? I presume that's what it is. From the valley views of Alp Grum to the magnificent lakeside views of Milego, the Bernina line from River Games will apparently offer a new meter gauge action in Train Sim World 4, and there'll be more details on future roadmaps about that route. One route that is coming hopefully before Christmas is Germany's Maintalbahn, which is the modern day diesel branch line from Dovetail Games. Once again, this is a modern-day German route, which is set across the portside town of Aschaffenburg, and it will go to Miltenberg. It's got quite a few stations, and it's not, of course, the longest German route in the game, no doubt about it. As far as more news, Dovetail shared some more screenshots and also a little sneak peek into the Mastery Reward. A short little recap for those jumping on the Maintalbahn for the first time. Dovetail has got the brand new DBBR 642 diesel multiple unit supported by the BR363 shunter, which allows for freight operations across the route. We will apparently be relaxing alongside the main river on this diesel Desiro route, set in the modern day and layering also the red DBBR 628, a recent addition if you own the Niedertalbahn. The route will be priced at £24.99, which is nice for a change, $29.99 and €29.99. What Dovetail really wanted to do with this route in particular was to bring another diesel multiple unit into their German offering, but most diesel branch lines are pretty simple 1 train per hour deals. This route apparently offers a more varied service pattern and quite a bit of industry, despite being mostly single track. From a gameplay perspective, it just makes sense for Dovetail to make this route. One of the more unique features of this route is the Mastery Tower, where we can launch a ship from the shipyard, which is I think at the Aschaffenburg dockyard, which you can currently play on the main Spazet-Bahn route. Now, some people at Dovetail Games have put the ship into action and seen it launched from the shipyard, and apparently it's some sight to enjoy sitting at the bridge and seeing the ship launch at the shipyard. And as far as new details, that's about it. But the screenshots look nice, and I do like the 642. It looks pretty cool, and hopefully will be good fun to operate. River Games is back on the scene once again, this time with 2 new gameplay packs. I know, roll your eyes. It's those kind of gameplay packs which offer new liveries and a piece of rolling stock, and charge you about £10 for it, I bet you. Now, River Games has created 2 new packs that is coming on November the 21st, and it is bringing apparently additional gameplay in the form of new scenarios, timetables, new liveries, and rolling stock for both the Arosa line as well as the ScotRail Express. We'll start with the Arosa line, shall we? River Games is bringing some all-new Swiss services, including a new Arosa line timetable and 5 new scenarios. What is brand new as far as rolling stock is the Ratishabahn FAC aggregate wagon, as well as 2 new liveries for the RHB GE442 electric locomotive. You can see those 2 liveries there. You've got number 622, which is the Hawork-Tozan Railway, and number 629. Looks good, I must say. And so does the aggregate wagon. For the ScotRail Express, we will be able to explore main gameplay from a freight perspective. These range from engineering movements to daring drags. Apparently, we will get 5 additional scenarios, an additional timetable across the Edinburgh to Glasgow route, and 2 new liveries for, yes, that's right, the Class 66. How many times have I seen this? I think I've lost count how many types of liveries and types of 66s we've had. It's getting ridiculous now. How about Rivet just release a new freight locomotive for the route itself? It would have been far easier than just picking the 66 again and giving it 2 new liveries. The new liveries that the 66 will have is the Ocean Network Express Magneta and Direct Rail Services blue livery. I do like the one livery on it, must say. The pink really suits it, actually. And it's got a nice little plaque on the side that says, "As one we can." Now, what this 66 will feature is a new emergency adapter coupler to drag Class 385 electric multiple units. We will also be able to pick up the YGB Sea-Cow wagon in both painted blue and unpainted grey liveries. Both of these new gameplay packs will be available on all platforms from November the 21st. They will be priced at, on the PlayStation is £9.99, €11.99 and $14.99. There is a difference. If you play the game on a PlayStation in the United Kingdom, it will be charged at £9.49. One cool thing that has got me excited, albeit briefly, was a new partner Dovetail has introduced, and that is SimTrack Studios. What is SimTrack Studios? They are a brand new venture to the game, and I believe they have not. I think they've made some train simulator content in the past, but I can't quite confirm that. Now, what SimTrack games, or whatever they're called, what they're going to be doing to Train Sim World? What is their first product, you may be asking? Well, I'm sorry to say this. What they'll be bringing is a regional railways liveried Class 323 alongside a set of scenarios that bring a splash of colour to the Birmingham Cross City line. As much as I like these new liveries, I just don't see the point of just charging them, just charging money for it. I don't think much people will care about the scenarios and stuff, really. I mean, I'm not a big fan of scenarios, to be honest with you, but as far as services goes, you could just add this free livery and new services to the route itself, or new scenarios for that matter, because it's the same bit of rolling stock. You know what I mean? I don't get it. The 66, I think you could use the 66 on the Edinburgh to Glasgow route anyway, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously, there's regional railways liveried Class 323. It's just a new lick of paint. You know what I mean? And we've already got the 323. It's the star of the Birmingham Cross City line itself. I mean, I love the Class 323. I think it's one of the best multiple units we've had in quite some time, as far as I'm concerned. So I just don't get why, that people are making, taking old rolling stock that we've had for 1 or 2, maybe even more years, and just sticking a new livery on it and then charging £10 for it. I just see it personally as a cash grab. I like the new liveries. I just wish they didn't charge money for it. Because Dovetail and even, Rivet, I think in the past as well, they've launched free liveries to the routes of the past. I'm thinking Great Western Express, the Boston Sprinter, even recently on the Niedertalbahn. You got a free Deutsche Bahn Riga red and white livery for the DBBR 62A. And TSG didn't charge you £10 for it, did he? He put it in the game for free. So I don't know why they do this. It just irritates me that not only Dovetail but Rivet, and it seems the SimTrack Studios developer is doing it as well. And yeah, am I going to buy it? No, I'm not. Now let's get on to as far as patches and updates and improvements and all that kind of jazz. One thing that I am quite interested in is what Dovetail Games call the Winter Core Update. Work is continuing on this long-awaited core update. This will include formation designer and suspension improvements, as well as a range of updates and mini HUD accessibility changes taken directly from the community feedback. They are bundling this together into a big winter core update. This is still a little while away from launching, but hopefully Dovetail could bring this out at least before the end of the year. I'm just having a look. As far as progress on other new improvements, the new curl Archon timetable has had a lot of work been put into it from the last time that we heard about this new curl Archon timetable. Now, the new timetable is being added to significantly increase traffic levels and variety around the route's major stations, as well as all new freight services. As far as the playable services, they were mostly already represented, but these have been completely recreated from the ground up with more accurate timings, stock usage, and stopping patterns. The route, however, felt a little quiet at some of the larger stations, but there was plenty of opportunities for the AI services to fill that void. Now, the timetable team at Dovetail reached out to a contact who helped with the Bremen freight information for Bahnstrecke Bremen-Oldenburg, and this time they were able to get a full timetable for freight across this line. The new freight services have realistic stops and timings where freight trains will be stopped to allow faster trains to overtake. The freight has made Kurl Ehrenfeld Yard and the station itself quite a lively place, and there's also a couple of short local runs as well as some shunting. Lovely. There are several new AI services added for the route that will make Aachen Hauptbahnhof and Stolberg Station feel more connected to the surrounding areas. Instead of it being just regional Express 1 and 9 services, Düren and Horum have various extra AI services. And then, of course, there's Kurl Hauptbahnhof. With all new AI traffic, there is always something going on at Kurl Hauptbahnhof, usually multiple trains moving at once. It'll be busy for driving into and out, as well as great for train spotting. Kurl Hansa Ring will be another great place to do some virtual train spotting too. The timetable team is making great progress as of yet. They do not have a projected release date for this new timetable, but when Dovetail do, we will know. For the New York Trenton performance issue, Dovetail released a patch obviously at the end of October on Halloween, and within that core improvement was a patch that Dovetail believed should vastly improve performance for the route for players on all platforms. Dovetail has seen positive feedback so far, which is great, which means that the fix has worked, and it seems the performance on the New York Trenton route is running is at a more stable state, which is great. As far as the Midland Main Line is concerned, there is some news on a range of improvements that Skyhook Games have planned to come to the Midland Main Line. Some of the headlines are route scenery improvements, such as more vegetation, clutter, scenery fixes, snow build-up feature for terrain and track, improvements to station and road signage, lighting improvements at Leicester and Nottingham Station, HST adjustments and fixes, such as cab and coach lighting and driver seat camera height, as well as updating all scenarios and timetable to use the current TSW4 scoring 2.0 and Platinum medals. Skyhook don't currently have a release date planned. They still need time to test the changes prior to the release. And when the changes go live, they will let us know. And that's it. Nearly broke my voice. That concludes this big November update on the Train Sim World 4 roadmap. If you'd enjoyed the video, then make sure to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you are watching for the first time, I'd really appreciate it if you would. Consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching.